Hello and welcome to today's LPL 2024 preview video. Just make sure I'm on screen. I am. Let's move a little bit over here. For OMG, otherwise known as Oh My God, a team that's made a lot of moves. And I think for the worse, if you could put it that way, I think they've taken a step back, and we'll get into that. I think that maybe they have identified the wrong area to try and go budget on, if you will, for this team. I understand why they did what they did, monetarily speaking, but at the same time, I think that you could have maybe saved a bit of money doing something else. So, last 3 years in 2021, they went 12 and 20. Last year in 2022, 14 and 18 were one of the most hyped teams going into that year, and then one of the most hyped teams going into this year. Everyone's like, okay, is Cream going to take the next step? Is OMG going to take the next step? And they did. They went 21 and 11 in the regular season, which is a big jump. I mean, hell, that's 7 wins, right? So that's quite a difference. Now, in the playoffs, they didn't get it done. The average age of the roster coming into this season is 22 and a half. We do not know the jungler's age. Shanji, Aki, and Cream are all out. So Shanji, Aki were on the Ninja in Pajamas video, and Cream went to Top Esports. They've brought in Cube from World Elite, Zhao Feng, who was a backup LDL jungler for Top Esports, and then Angel, who played with NIP and RNG last year. We'll start with Cube. At 21 years old, he played 81 games last year between Rare Atom and Team Wii. Had a 2.5 KDA, 8.2 CS per minute, 49.8 KP. Definitely a solo dolo, put me on an island top laner. Very similar to Shanji. I am wondering if they expect a similar glow up, because Shanji is 23, and in his age 21 season to 22 season, we saw him take the next step. Cube does have a similar champion pool and a similar style of play in the end, compared to when Shanji was his age. So I am wondering if that's the angle here. 20.9 gold share, 441 damage per minute, 20.5% of his team's damage. 15 champions played. Kayasante, Renekton, and Jax, the standard trio, accounting for 61% of his games. Behind him is Flying. Flying has not played since 2021. So there is no pressure there in the org for top lane. In the jungle, we have Zhao Feng. So this is definitely in a puzzling situation. So you went budget on jungler, and you've brought in 3 junglers from 3 different LDL teams. So Zhao Feng comes from Top Esports. He lost his job to Nayu. So 17 games played, 3.8 KDA, 5.7 CS per minute, 77 KP, 19.9 gold share, 441 damage per minute, played 9 champions. Keep in mind, actually, a couple of these games are from, his stats are a little tainted from Demacia Cup this year. So really he only played like 13, 14 games last year at all. Sejuani, Wukong, Nidalee accounting for 8 of those 17 games. So these numbers are good, don't get me wrong, but you're literally taking a team's backup LDL jungler. And then there's Can, who was BLG's LDL jungler last year. 31 games, so he wasn't even the starter outright. 3.3 KDA, 5.6 CS per minute, 71.6 KP, 19.3 gold share, 388 damage per minute, 16 champions played, so a wide champion pool there. Can has played in the LPL before. He played with BLG in 2022. Age is unknown there, but I would say he's probably younger, so that is what it is. He, maybe he puts pressure on there on Zhao Feng, and it probably should be the case. There should be a battle here for the spot, but I'm surprised they couldn't find anybody else. I mean, Tarzan's unemployed. It seems like a spot where Tarzan should go, right? Fei Fan is their 3rd string jungler. He played with Weibo last year in the LDL for 2 games. 3.2 KDA, 4.7 CS per minute, 76.2 KP, 20.5 gold share, 293 damage per minute. Played a different champion in each game. I mean, hell, it's a super small sample size. It's just all we've got for him last year. So the jungle role is a massive question mark. One of the bigger question marks out of like teams that shouldn't be bad this year. in the 4 major regions. Like, I really don't think you're going to find a bigger question mark in terms of a team that you expected to be middle of the road or better. Like, I would argue this goes right alongside Vampire for EDG in terms of what are we doing here. Yeah, so Angel in the mid lane, 23 years old, has been around the block, a good, solid player. Is he great? No, but he's good. I think he's reliable. I think he's going to get the job done. Now, is he going to blow someone out of the water? No. But that's why you also need to, form your team around that, having a facilitator mid, a definite second-tier carry or third-tier carry on your team. 80 games played, 3.7 KDA, 8.4 CS per minute, 66.6 KP with RNG and NIP last year. 21.9 gold share, 514 damage per minute, which was over 24% of his team's damage. 18 champions played. Ari, Jace, and Annie accounting for 43%, so a very different look there. A lot of carry games on the Jace, facilitator with the Annie, and we have a lot of Ari in his champion pool. Backup is Lin Fang. Lin Fang played 55 games last year, had a 4.2 KDA, 8.6 CS per minute, 68.5 KP, 21.6 gold share, 454 damage per minute, 15 champions played, and they also have Banye. Banye is the third tier LDL, third tier mid in the system. Second most games played on the LDL roster last year. And his numbers are pretty good. I would say they're better than Lin Fang, so maybe they should swap who the starter is. But regardless, 15 games, died more at 2.5 KDA, but higher CS and more involvement, 8.7 and 70.5. 22.3% of the team's gold, resulting in more damage at 521 per minute. 8 champions played. Now, that's interesting, right? So Angel replacing Cream, I think, is fine. Cream has more potential, but at the same time, he has not really realized it, where we know Angel, we know what we're getting on Angel, right? And you could argue, hey, if you kept Shanji and Aki, you put Angel in mid lane, that should be feasible, that should work. But that's not what they did. Now in bot lane, you have Abel and PP God, who were here last year, and Abel is kind of like one tier. So I mentioned Gala and Photic in my last couple videos. Abel is in like the tier after, in terms of this guy has like 1 tricks and 2 tricks in Samira and Tristana. He can play some other stuff, but his Samira is disgusting. His Tristana is disgusting. In 105 games played, had a 3.4 KDA, 9.7 CS per minute, 67 KP, 24.7% of the team's gold, 629 damage per minute, which was almost 29% of OMG's damage. Played 10 champions, so not a super large champion pool for him. Aphelios, Zeri, and Zaya accounting for 60%. He played Aphelios, I think, 34 times, which is a lot. So this is where I have question marks. In terms of LDL talent in OMG's, system, in their prospect pool, they have a very good bot duo in the LDL, in Starry and Yan. Not to say Abel and PP God weren't good last year, because they were. They were very good. But if I'm looking at a budget-related move, which you clearly did by bringing in no-name junglers, I would have argued you keep the top side and you let the bot side go. I think you could make that argument, and then you go with a rookie bot duo. And then you have Shanji and Cream still, you have Aki. I think you have a fine team. Right now, I think it's worse than what it would have been doing it that way. Then again, I've never watched Jin Fang play. Maybe he got sick and that's why he didn't start anymore for top. I don't know. Starry, in 19 games in the LDL, he was dominant. He's been in my prospect videos a couple times now. 82 games, 4.6 KDA, 10.5 CS per minute, 73.2 KP. Let's feed this guy a ton of gold, fight around him. 25.9% of the team's gold, 603 damage per minute, 8 champions played. Behind him is Untitled, no age listed, no games played. At support, you have PP God, 23 years old. You can definitely see the team got better with him in the lineup versus the year prior. So 103 games, 3.9 KDA, 77 2 KP. So he fought nearly 4 out of every 5 kills. So he was very active. 142 damage per minute, 19 champions played. Rakan, Lulu, and Milio accounting for 44%. So we haven't heard many Milios in the top 3, but that was a big pick for OMG. Support is Jan in the LDL in Oh My Dream. And Jan looked good alongside Starry. These numbers are great. 55 games, 5 KDA, 78.6 KP, 141 damage per minute, 16 champions played. Now, I didn't watch them play, but part of me is wondering, is this the move that should have been made? Starry and Jan being in the bot lane and then keeping the top side. I mean, it's hard to say because a lot of people like Abel and PP God, and I'm not saying they're bad players. I can't emphasize that enough. I think they're good. But the drop-off in jungle is so massive in terms of what they're doing. I mean, and they're banking on Cube having a glow-up, and Angel's a very different player from Cream. It's real interesting. No Name as the coach. Over his career, 41, 70, and 7 in best of threes in the LPL. 3 and 9 individual games in the playoffs. Definitely a question mark for a team, for sure, going into this year. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.